The holidays are the perfect time for a little indulgence, and these mini cakes deliver. The thyme olive oil mini cake is tender, fragrant, and silky thanks to O Olive Oil's organic olive oil. It has fresh thyme and a swirl of mascarpone frosting, and it's finished with a drizzle of Meyer lemon olive oil. The pumpkin olive oil mini cake is cozy and moist, packed with warm spices and pumpkin, and topped with vanilla bean frosting and a bright drizzle of blood orange olive oil. Both are simple to make, elegant to serve, and bring a touch of festive magic to any holiday table. This sweet potato cinnamon maple cornbread is one of my favorite cozy sides for Thanksgiving, and it all starts with 2-star ingredients: Churn's maple cinnamon butter and cinnamon infused maple syrup. They bring the warmth, the spice, and the sweetness that makes this recipe feel instantly festive. I mix the sweet potato with milk, eggs, and a good pour of that maple syrup, then whisk in melted maple cinnamon butter so that the batter is rich, glossy, and full of flavor. It gets folded into the cornmeal mixture, and from there, it bakes in the oven until the top is perfectly golden and your whole house smells like Thanksgiving. The best part, serve it warm with a generous dollop of Churn's hot honey butter. I just prepped everything for 2 kinds of mini cakes that I am making for O Olive Oil. They're both olive oil based mini cake recipes. I got these really cute little molds on, where did I get them? On Amazon. And I'm baking 2 different flavors. I'm doing a thyme olive oil cake with mascarpone frosting, and then I'm doing a pumpkin olive oil cake with cream cheese frosting. I'm very excited. I'm thinking now, I originally thought that I would do, I guess depending on how much they rise, so maybe I'll be fine, but I was gonna do just like 1 singular cake in each and do 4 cakes in total, but this is only for 1 recipe concept. Why I'm doing 2 flavors, I don't really know, but it's fun. So I'm doing those 2 cakes, and then for Churn, I'm doing a sweet potato hot honey maple cinnamon cornbread. It was originally supposed to be hot honey, and then we decided to work with a maple syrup brand that makes this cinnamon infused maple syrup. So the base of the cornbread is going to be a maple cinnamon cornbread with sweet potato puree, and then I'm going to put on top, when it's done baking, the hot honey. So kind of like an in-between, also to cut through some of that like super sweet mapleness to it, but then I think the hot honey will pair well with the cinnamon that's going to be throughout the cornbread. And then after all of that, I need to film for afternoon a shaved Brussels sprout salad. It's going to be shaved Brussels sprouts, which I think I'm going to do raw and like really finely shred it. So shaved Brussels sprouts, pomegranate seeds, chopped pistachios, pecorino, and then the dressing is going to be made with afternoon's Greek goddess dressing and Soom's tahini. So we're gonna do like a creamy vibe. I've made a version of this salad so many times. I think it's a great option for Thanksgiving if you want something that is not so heavy on the table. Also something that I feel like a lot of vegetarians will go towards, even though there is pecorino on it, which I guess works for vegetarians, not vegans. But anyway, that is the content I'm working on today. I have a podcast recording at 4 o'clock with the founders of Juliet, which is a wine brand if you're not familiar. I need to get all this done before 4. It is currently 11:25. Both mini cakes take about 25 minutes to bake, and then they'll take some time to cool. So I'll make the frosting while they cool. And while they're cooling and I'm making the frosting, I will pop the cornbread in the oven, because that, like, I'll show it being made, bake it, take it out, and that's like kind of it for the recipe. I mean, I'll show like finishing shots and stuff like that, but that only bakes for, I don't even remember, 20 to 25 minutes, which I feel like should be long enough for me to get the frosting done. Probably not long enough for the cakes to completely cool, but I think we'll see. So I'm going to film the beginning of all of the recipes now. I need to get my light out because it's not overly bright in here, unless I decide to film on a different surface. We'll see. But I need to film the base of that and then get those guys in the oven. So I'm hoping that I can have those in the oven and done baking by 12:30, which means if I put them in the oven at 12 o'clock, I can make the frostings between 12 and 12:30. When they come out of, well, okay, wait, let me I will, I'll make the bases. So I have everything measured out. So I just need to like combine everything in a bowl and film it for the cakes. So I'll do that now. Hopefully have that done by 12. I mean, it should be pretty quick. And then pop those in the oven. They'll bake from like, let's just say 12 to 12:30. While they're baking, I will film the intro to the cornbread recipe. So I'll have the intro done, hopefully, by the time that the mini cakes come out. While the cornbread is in the oven and the mini cakes are cooling, I'll make the frosting. Frosting should not take me that long. So let's say I'm done with that by 1 o'clock. Then I have all the components made, and depending on how fast it takes those cakes to cool, I'm thinking probably at least an hour. Let's say I will then have like half an hour. I could film the salad then, and or at least prep the ingredients for the salad and be done with that by like 1:30. And then from there I can either frost the cakes, finish it, but I want to give them as long to cool as possible because I want the frosting to not melt. So I'll probably film the salad, and then once the salad is done, I will frost the cakes and finish the recipe. So let me know if that made any sense. I will report back probably as I am making the frostings, because I'm not going to film that part of the recipe because they don't include any of the product that the brand is for. So I'll check back in when I'm making the frostings and when I'm prepping the ingredients for the salad. But it's a busy day. I feel a little overwhelmed, and I really need to get these done because they're all Thanksgiving related recipes. And so I'm on a time crunch, and today is like literally the only day that I can film these because I was sick last week. As I was saying, I'm going to be gone. So today's Thursday. I'm going to be gone tomorrow afternoon and through the weekend. So I can't even like try to do some of this on the weekend. And then next week I have 4 pieces of content I have to film that literally looks like I'm going to do them all on Monday. And then after that, after those 4 recipes, I'm kind of done till Thanksgiving. So next week is the week before Thanksgiving. And those pieces of content that I'm filming next week aren't necessarily for Thanksgiving. I guess 2 of them kind of are, but there's a little bit of flexibility of them being like holiday content. But I have to deliver them like midweek next week. So I don't know for sure when they're going to post it. But there's just like a lot happening, and I have design projects on top of that and just like admin stuff, and I feel kind of like my brain is going to explode. But I think I can get it all done. I mean, I have to get it all done. So it's going to happen one way or another. I'm hoping the sun will cooperate with me today. So let's go start the beginning of these cake videos and get those bases done and in the oven. It is 3 o'clock. It's actually 3:05, and I am done with everything. So it took me about, what time did I check in with you guys? Like 11:30. It took me about 3.5 hours to get through 3 recipes. Well, I guess 3 videos, 4 recipes. And let me tell you, here's the top line highlights from today. The lemon thyme cake is delicious and so moist and is just perfect. And I used my olive oil base that I've used for like other cakes in the past, and it was fabulous. Topping them with a mascarpone frosting was delicious and pairs really well. And I liked the combination of kind of the earthy floral thyme with the very citrusy lemon, and then you have like the tart mascarpone. I think it's delicious. I ended up putting a layer of raspberry jam between both layers of the cake. You can't see it, and I'm not even gonna mention it in the recipe, but just for my personal enjoyment, that's what I did. And the pumpkin cake was good. I've tested it before and it was fine, but for some reason today it underbaked in the center, so I had to pull out all the stops to have it not be underbaked, and I did not realize it until it had fully cooled and I took it out of the oven. And again, like, the actual recipe is fine. I mean, there's a couple adjustments I'm gonna make before I send it over, but I think there's something going on with my oven because things have been underbaking, overbaking, and it's interesting that the lemon thyme cake baked fine, but the pumpkin one baked like just a little bit underdone in the center. So I don't know, but I fixed it. All is good in the world. They turned out really beautiful. I'm sure I have the video going on here. So cakes were amazing. I'll show you them. They're right here. Here are my cakes, which is hard to show you, but you'll see in the video, but there's pools of olive oil on top, which maybe you can tell. So I'm being very gentle. I'm not sure how it's gonna be when I cut into them, but I think it's gonna be a fun experience. I didn't cut into it for the video because I felt like this presentation was more important than a cut slice presentation. So yeah, the frosting is so good. It's just heavy cream, mascarpone, and powdered sugar. I think I put a little bit of vanilla extract. I actually just re-upped my supply of vanilla extract. I went to Costco last week and I got a big bottle of it. And then I went to Trader Joe's and I got their vanilla bourbon paste, which I'm very excited about. But anyway, cakes are done. The next was, I'm trying to see if it's behind me. Oh, it's over at the stove. But was the maple cinnamon cornbread, which, wow, it's really, really good. I love that cornbread recipe, and I just swapped out the butters in it. And so it's maple cinnamon butter and cinnamon infused maple syrup that is like in the cornbread like mix. And then on top you put hot honey butter and flaky salt. And I mean, do I have to say more? Like, it's sweet and delicious and buttery and everything you want cornbread to be. So that was great. And then the last one was kind of like the sneaky favorite of the day, which was a shaved Brussels sprout salad. So you mandolin Brussels sprouts, which takes a long time. And let me just say, a pound of Brussels sprouts gives you a very, very high yield of shaved Brussels sprouts. So I have so many. I'll be remaking the salad for the foreseeable future. And luckily, Brussels sprouts keep pretty good in the fridge. So anyway, mandolin Brussels sprouts. And then you put that in a bowl, and then the dressing is 5 tablespoons olive oil, 2 tablespoons citrus champagne vinegar, a stick pack of Afternoon's Greek Goddess dressing, and then probably like, I didn't quite measure it when I made it today, but I think the recipe is written with 2 or 3 tablespoons of Soom's tahini, and then you shake all that together. You pour it over the Brussels sprouts, mix it till everything is coated, and you don't want it like sopping wet. It's surprising how little dressing you need in comparison to how much Brussels sprouts you have. So start light and then kind of go forward. Oh my gosh, there's so many squirrels in the backyard right now. That's the dressing. Okay, so you pour that in the Brussels sprouts, mix it together. Then you top the Brussels sprouts with chopped pistachios, pomegranate seeds, a crap ton of pecorino, and then freshly cracked pepper and flaky salt. And it is so good. I think it's a combination of the Greek Goddess with the tahini, but it's just that like earthy, nutty taste with like a great texture because everything is the same size pretty much. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. I ate the whole plate and we saved more and we're probably gonna have it for dinner tonight. So that's what I worked on today. Now I'm going to go, I don't know, can you see all the dishes? I have a lot of dishes to tackle. Luckily, I have a dishwasher, but the thought of even just like standing any longer and having to like rinse. Everything is rinsed in the sink. I've been rinsing as I go, and like everything is soaking in soapy water, but like the thought of then rinsing it again and putting in the dishwasher, hand washing a couple things just sounds horrible. So I think I'm gonna go sit for a second because I have a podcast recording in 50 minutes. I'm gonna go sit, probably make a matcha. Maybe I will try to go for a quick walk with my dog because once the podcast recording is over at probably like 4:45, the sun's already gonna be setting. But I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna try to, after my recording, record the 3 voiceovers quickly. And then like when I go to edit the video tonight, I can just like match stuff up. And sometimes it's easier to do that way. Sometimes I do it where I record the voiceover before I edit. Sometimes I do it afterwards. It really just depends like when I'm gonna be editing and if I'm gonna have quiet time to record a voiceover. So I'm gonna record the voiceovers after my podcast recording. Then I'll probably clean up the kitchen, make dinner, etc. And then I have to pack tonight because I'm going to the lake this weekend and I'm leaving tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. And then tomorrow I will probably edit the videos. Hello, happy Monday. I had a very fun, relaxing weekend at the lake and now we're hitting the ground running on a Monday. It is sunny today and it's not supposed to be sunny the rest of the week, which means we have recipes to work on. I just got my groceries delivered. I have Instacart Plus, which I kind of randomly got. So backstory, I sold my car like the beginning of this year because I work from home and I just was like never using it. And when I needed a car, Wes would be home and I could use his car or we were going somewhere together and I live walking distance to like everything I could possibly need. So anyway, I sold my car, and when I sold my car, I was like, okay, let me get Instacart Plus so that I can get all my work groceries delivered. I don't need to stress about like how I'm gonna get things, if I need something last minute, whatever. Even though there is a grocery store very close by and I can walk to, I was like, that's just annoying to do in like the middle of the day if I need to work on something. So I think it was $20 for the first year, $10 or $20 for the first year. I'm thinking it was 20, and then it's 99 every year after that. But I was just looking at my like year-to-date savings, and so far I've saved, I think it was like $90. So basically, in my mind, the savings that I'm then getting pay for the yearly subscription. Obviously this year I paid $20, so I'm going into next year with a little bit of a leg up, but I order probably like at least 2 times a week. This week I'm shooting everything today, so most likely it'll only be 1 order, but I find that I save a lot of money. And I think with Instacart Plus, I'm trying to remember all of it, but you get like faster priority delivery. I think there's some like savings and whatever. This is obviously not an ad, but like I think it's a great gift, and honestly it'd be a great gift for like the foodies in your life or like busy moms, busy parents. I don't know, I think it's just like a nice way, like how people gift like Costco memberships. I feel like this could be a good gift as well, because you can kind of like pick your grocery stores. There's like 1,000,001 places you can shop. You also get like free delivery through like Uber Eats on it and all this other stuff. So that's my whole spiel. Basically, I got groceries delivered today because we have 3 recipes to work on, all of which are pretty simple recipes, and that like it's not a time-consuming thing like a cake that I was making the other day. So first recipe is a miso tomato soup with a scallion pancake grilled cheese. It is for my client Lauban, which makes the best dumplings, but they just released a crispy line. I'll put the items up on the screen, but they have popcorn chicken, scallion pancakes, and crab rangoon. And so I'm doing a recipe with them with the crispy pancakes, and I'm gonna do like this miso grilled cheese. I really wanted to put, or not miso grilled cheese, miso tomato soup with grilled cheese. I wanted to put kimchi on top, but the store was out of stock and I don't like necessarily need it. I'll probably just top it with some chili crisp or something like that. But for that, I got some heavy cream, some tomato paste, and then I needed veggie stock, but I hate having those containers on hand, so I needed a re-up of Better Than Bouillon, and I was like, this makes way more sense. So I got that, and then I got mozzarella cheese for the grilled cheese part. And I got all this through Kroger. I find that they have the cheapest options around here, and especially when I'm buying ingredients that a brand is reimbursing me for, I try to get the cheapest options possible. Like, I don't want to, like, I don't know, I don't want to take their kindness for granted, even though, you know, they should be reimbursing me. But anyway, I got all of that. And then the next one is a baked Brie. This is for the brand Hyo. They make non-alcoholic drinks, which I'll get one from the fridge. These are their drinks. They have this thing called the float. So depending on how many you drink, I think it's like 1, 2, 3 is how they usually level it. But there are social tonics with adaptogens, nootropics, and functional botanical to celebrate life never wasted. And I love these. I actually drank these the entire weekend at the lake, and I brought them to a bunch of places. But I find that they're a really good alcohol alternative. And if you're not familiar, I am in an era of being sober and not drinking. Not to say I won't have like a sip of someone's beer or wine to like taste something, but I have found that right now, for some reason, wine, alcohol, beer are like really triggering my migraines, and I'm just like trying to see if I really stay away from everything, if things are better, and so far they are. So we'll see. But anyway, I love Hyo, and so I'm doing 2 recipes for them. First is with their blackberry lemon flavor, and then the other one is with their peach mango flavor, which I need to throw some in the fridge, but I have a whole case over there. But I'm making a baked Brie with, what am I doing? Baked Brie with blackberry jam and some lemon zest, and then like candied walnuts on top that I'm gonna candy in brown sugar. So that's the first one. So for that, I got my favorite puff pastry. This was a client of mine, still is a client of mine, but I did a carrot tart with them, which I don't know if I showed you guys, but I'll put a picture here. But I have bought this puff pastry since then. I wasn't overly familiar with the brand before they had initially reached out, and then I like fell in love with them, but I buy this all the time. I just actually brought this with me to the lake, and I made apple butter toaster strudels with homemade apple butter, and they were delicious. So I have a feeling I'll be doing that again. But anyway, I got blackberry preserves. I wanted the Bon Maman blackberry preserves, but they're apparently like out of stock of them. So these are fine. Actually, these ingredients are really good. Okay. I thought Bon Maman's was like way better, and that this one used high fructose corn syrup, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but I was just like, the price difference wasn't that crazy. Like, let me get the thing that just has cane sugar in it, but those are good ingredients. So anyway, I got Brie, and then for the last one with their peach, which Hyo's peach mango, I'm doing a mango cardamom creme brulee. So I got eggs, and what else did I get? Oh, I got a mango, which I think this is soft enough. I wish it was a little bit softer, but I'm blending it into a puree, so even if it's not super soft, I think it'll still be fine. And then, oh, also for the soup, I got an onion, and then to go with the Brie, I got some crackers. I was trying to decide what crackers I wanted to do with it, and I didn't want to do, I don't know. I thought originally about doing like a seasoned like spice cracker, but that's not like necessarily part of the concept that I pitched, and I'm like, why am I gonna do extra work if it's not part of the concept? Which like usually I'm down for, but I don't like, it's a short timeline to get these done to begin with. So anyway, I got my favorite Firehawk crackers, which I worked with them over the summer, and I've been hooked ever since. So, and I loved them before, but now I like really buy them all the time. So anyway, that is my grocery haul. I have to do a little bit more computer work. I need to just like quickly finish up tomorrow's Substack, and then I'm gonna work on these recipes. I'm a little nervous. It is currently 1:19. I need to be done by like 4 o'clock. But again, like the Brie, I'm literally just throwing it in the oven. The soup, I'm throwing it all in a pot pretty much. The creme brulee is just going in the oven. Creme brulee, I honestly will probably have to finish tomorrow, because I don't know why I didn't realize this. I should have started it yesterday, but it has to sit in the fridge to get cold enough to then cook, like toast the sugar on the top. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I don't have a torch to do that, but I realized I could just use my broiler. So And apparently there's a spoon method where you can heat a spoon and then hold that over the sugar. And I was like, that looks sus if I do that in a video. So anyway, this is a long intro, but I'm gonna go finish Substack, hopefully be done with that by 2, start on the recipes. I think I can be done by like 4:30, which honestly, it works out because I wanna be able to shoot all these in the kitchen, and the kitchen counter over here gets the best lighting later in the afternoon. So I think we'll be good. The holidays are all about cozy moments and effortless treats that feel special. For this baked brie, roll out a sheet of puff pastry, place a wheel of brie in the center, and spoon blackberry jam over the top. Wrap it up, brush with an egg wash, and bake until the pastry is golden and the brie inside is perfectly melty. Once it's out of the oven, serve it with candied walnuts and crackers, and pair it with a chilled Hi-O blackberry lemon social tonic. The bright citrus and berry notes balance the richness and make this festive appetizer feel like a true holiday centerpiece. There's something so fun about taking a classic dessert and giving it a little tropical moment for the holidays, and this mango cardamom creme brulee feels luxurious, but it's actually super simple. Blend a ripe mango until silky, warm your cream with cardamom so the whole kitchen smells dreamy, and then whisk in your egg yolks and sugar. Strain, bake, and let it chill. When you're ready to serve, sprinkle a thin layer of sugar and pop it under the broiler. It melts into that crackly glass top finish without needing a torch. And the best part, pair each ramekin with a chilled Hi-O mango peach. It's bright, bubbly, and turns this tropical creme brulee into such a fun, unexpected holiday treat. Hello, happy Tuesday. Yesterday was a whirlwind. I don't think I filmed as much as I wanted to while I was prepping ingredients, but I felt like I was literally racing against time, and I don't even think that's an exaggeration. I got started an hour later than I wanted to, which that hour would have been really nice, but I got stuck having to just deal with some client things that popped up. So unfortunately I got to those other projects later, which is a little frustrating. But I finished the baked brie, which looks so good. It turned out so cute. I completed everything for the creme brulee, but I need to like do the final toasting and like show it being poured with a drink, etc. But it is quite literally downpouring today, so I'm not gonna be able to get the clip today, which is quite frustrating because it's gonna push the timeline for things a little bit, but I don't want to put out bad content. Like Wes always says, he's like, stuff looks good when you use like your photography lights and like artificial lighting and things like that, but like it's not how I want it to look. Like I have a universe in my mind of food and how it should show up and what I want it to look like and what is appetizing, and I consume a lot of food content and I know what looks good and what doesn't, and I just know filming an artificial light is not what I want and also not why people come to me to work with me. So all of that to say, I'm hoping that there's gonna be some sun tomorrow so I can get the last clips. It's literally gonna take me like 15 minutes to film the end of it. It's so frustrating. And then the other video, same thing happened. The sun like went away in the middle of me filming it, but the tomato soup, I got the soup all made. I actually had it for dinner last night. It was delicious. And I saved some to film the end of this recipe, but I literally just have to film like the soup being plated in a bowl with chili oil on top and then show the scallion pancake grilled cheese being made, which is exactly what we had for dinner last night. It was absolutely delicious. And I filmed some clips of the scallion pancake being made. I need to go back and look at them because I'm not sure if I love them, but I mean, regardless, I'm going to have to remake it for filming the last few clips of the video. So that's that. So it was a frustrating end to the day, but today has been good. It's so rainy, so gloomy today, and like freezing outside. I really wanted to go to a coffee shop to work, but frankly, I don't want to go out in this weather. So I think I may go tomorrow. I have a day completely blocked off, hopefully, for design work. So I'm hoping to be able to go do that. A lot of hopes and dreams over here, but we'll see what pans out. I'm like feeling quite overwhelmed looking at the end of the year, especially with like Thanksgiving in there, and I have family coming in town for that, and then Christmas I'm going home, and like I take off the week of Christmas and the week of New Year's every year, but that means like everything has to be done and there's like just a lot of work leading up to everything. But this is like the busiest season, and it's not like I can really, I'm never one to say no to a project, even if it will put more stress on my plate. At least at this point in my career, I don't really feel like I can say no. And that's just in me wanting to grow and do more things. So there's a lot going on, but I'm just trying to take it day by day and go through my to-do list. Last night I had a craft night, which was like the best thing I could have possibly done for my soul and anxiety levels. And it was so wonderful and just meant so much to me. I have a really nice group of friends here, but I feel like, I think I was talking about this in last week's video where I was talking about ways to avoid the winter blues, but I feel like I have a good group of friends, but the only time I'm seeing them is like, we're like going out to dinner, we're going like out to do this thing, we're celebrating like this thing, like we're watching a game, like it's always for like a specific reason and there's specific plans, and a lot of times they're just like out somewhere. But I feel like I have not just like had friends over to the house and hung out and just like not have an agenda in, I can't even tell you, like years. And I don't know if this is like a post-COVID thing. I don't know if it's just everyone's busy. That's probably what it is. And I don't know. I also just like been so nervous to ask people to do stuff because I'm like, what if everybody hates me? The plight of being a girl. But anyway, I had some friends over for craft night and I made these paper stars that have been all over TikTok, and then I made like a paper chain garland also to like over it. It looks so cute. I can't even tell you like how much it just like made me happy and brought so much like warmth into the house. I mean, the house is already very warm, but like, I don't know, it's just wonderful. And so I did that. I matted some pictures that I had. I got a lot of the Inkiarty vending machine prints when I was in Chicago last time. So I was framing and matting a lot of those, and now I have a lot of artwork that I need to hang. And I also realized that I need to go out and get a couple more frames. Target has some really good prices on frames right now, so I'm gonna go there because I can't find secondhand frames anywhere in Columbus. And the ones on Amazon are like not much cheaper, and like I don't know where you're supposed to buy them. I feel bad. So yeah, I need to do that tonight. I'm going to dinner with Wes and one of his work colleagues, and then I'm trying to think, Friendsgiving is this Friday. So we'll see. It's a very busy week. This sweet potato and sourdough stuffing is the perfect up-leveled side for Thanksgiving. It's packed with flavor, but surprisingly so easy to make. There's no need to prep bread or fuss over aromatics and seasonings. Simply saute onions and carrots in butter, boil your sweet potato until tender, and mix it all with cushy sourdough stuffing and vegetable broth. Top it with a dollop of umami-rich compound butter and a drizzle of afternoon's umami mommy dressing, then bake until golden and bubbly. In just 35 minutes, you've got a show-stopping, flavorful stuffing that's effortless to make and impossible not to love. This is cozy tomato soup, but make it deeply umami forward. Start by sauteing onions and garlic, then build that deep flavor with tomato paste, crushed tomatoes, and miso to give the whole pot this savory, silky finish. But the real star here is the grilled cheese. I'm using Laoban's new Scallion pancakes. They crisp up in a skillet in just a few minutes, and they make the perfect, chewy, flaky swap for bread. Load it up with melty cheese, and then let it get golden and gooey. Serve that sandwich with steaming miso tomato soup, and you've got the coziest weeknight combo. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, turn on post notifications. These are really fun videos for me to make, and I have some plans and thoughts for what to do with this platform in the future, and I am very grateful for even one person that watches it. So follow, subscribe, like, do all those things. I guess subscribe and follow are the same thing, but follow me on Instagram, citrusdiaries.studio. Substack is The Digest by Citrus Diaries and Wholesome Goods. All of that is linked in the episode description, show description. I don't know what you call it on YouTube. And what else? If you want to get in contact about working together or having questions about the video or about recipes, my email is hello@citrusdiaries.com. Website is citrusdiaries.com. I think those are all the things. So thank you so much for watching. I am so tired, and frankly, my back really hurts right now. So I'm so lucky to do what I do. I will see you next time.